Wasn't that many years ago where virtualized environments were still relatively uncommon. Spring forward to today, and really virtualized environments are everywhere, whether it's full VMs, Docker containers, or even individual desktops now. A lot of desktops running Windows 11, for example, present themselves as being virtualized. And under the covers, they are, in fact, a virtualized environment. So we wanted to build in really great support for virtualized image detection, anti-cloning, and to ensure that you get properly paid for every single seat of the license that you sell to your customers. The way we do that is with a technique we call the nonce. So think of the nonce as being kind of a transient secret. So every time there's a communication between the application back to the Zentitle cloud, as part of the license refresh, we will generate a brand new nonce that comes back from the server that is then registered to that individual instance. So if that instance stores that nonce and then makes a subsequent request, they have to provide that nonce again. That nonce comes in as part of that request. We'll see that they actually did provide the right nonce. So we'll make that a validated, authenticated use of that seat of the license. And we will then generate a brand new nonce, right, which will then go back to the client. And so that will continue through that conversation. Now, if the process gets activated, so they get their nonce, then they clone themselves. So both process 1 and process 2 will then have the same secret. The first of these that then do that refresh request will have that seat be validated by the Zentitle cloud, and then that will generate a brand new nonce back to whichever process made that request. But now one of those two processes will no longer know the current nonce that was just refreshed. And so when they do a refresh, they won't have the correct nonce and the request will be denied. Now, when the request is denied at that process, they realize, hey, we don't have a seat because we lost it to a clone, etc. Then the application can decide, hey, I want to try checking out another seat against the license. So that's up to you as the vendor to define what kind of policy you want to enforce when we've detected that a clone has already grabbed that seat away from that process.